That's all.
Okay.
But would you agree that you are anti-Muslim?
I'm a proud Islamophobic, yes.
What I have sort of noticed, going back to the comment about Sanjay, is the sort of right-wing element of Hindus coming on the show who sort of are so Islamophobic.
Anil's emailed in and said, what Sanjay was describing is the truth. I feel ashamed to be Indian because I cannot believe that Hindus and Sikhs can be so naive that they cannot see the conversion agenda behind Muslim men marrying non-Muslim women. Let's cross to Sanjay, who's also in Leicester, who called us. Good morning, Sanjay.
Hi.
Hi. Do you agree with Rajesh?
On some points, yes, I do, yeah.
Okay, why? Tell me why.
Well, I was going to come and say something else, but what I was going to say is, if this was happening in Pakistan right now, and it was a director there, a Muslim director there, and a Hindu actor right now in Pakistan now, then and they were making fun of their prophet in the movie, it would be a war right now. So this just shows how tolerant India really is. The director is an absolute idiot. He doesn't care. He'd sell his mother for a buck. It's all about money and.
There's such things as artistic license as well, right?
Yes, there is, yeah. Yeah. Now, going back to the actor Amir Khan, he himself has married 2 Hindu women. He's had kids from them, and he, in an interview, has stated that his kids will grow up to be Muslims, and he's so proud. My question is, what's he doing in India? Why don't he just get lost to Pakistan?
Because he's Indian?
Yeah, but so what? But he has to respect Indian laws and stuff.
Well, what's to say he doesn't respect Indian laws?
He doesn't, because they get away. You know, the thing with Indian people, the Muslims are getting away with everything in India, and the Hindus are just sleepwalking into it.
There's over 100 million Muslims in India that say they're Indian Muslims. What's wrong with that?
Yeah, well, my problem is Pakistan was split for the Muslims, so why are there over that many Muslims in India in the first place?
Okay. Bring it back a little bit, because we're like 60 odd years on from partition.
Yes.
Bring it back a little bit.
Okay.
Right, okay. So the movie, have you seen the film? Let's just go back to the film a little bit, because...
No, I haven't.
Okay.
But yeah, the truth is I would never see a movie with a Khan actor. They're overrated, and I think they're kind of not that good at all.
Well, that's a matter of opinion. They may not be the best actors, but what, you wouldn't watch it because it was a Khan?
No, I think because the thing with India is they've as soon as you got a Khan, let me finish. As soon as you got a Khan surname, they seem to overrate people so much because he's a Muslim and he's a Khan. So they're sort of somehow as like gods in India or something.
Well, that's a matter of opinion, I suppose, Sanjay.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you look at the history, it takes you back to the actors, how they started, and the good movie roles they've been given. It's just the way it is. I mean, Hindu actors are not given much chance at all and stuff like that. And so going back to all this, another thing I was going to say is
Sanjay Dutt. He's been given a lot of chances.
Yeah, he's supposed to be in prison.
Hell of a lot of chances.
Yeah, he's supposed to be in prison. How come he's in the movie? It just shows how corrupt...
Well, he did that role before he went into prison.
Okay, and ask yourself, why is he in prison for? He was going to wage a jihad against Hindus in India. He was going to shoot Hindus, and that's why he's in prison. But anyway,
I have never heard that before, Sanjay. I don't know where you're getting your facts from.
Yeah, these are true. But anyway,
well, you can't just say it's true because you think it's true. It's not true. Okay,
so you can make whatever you want then up. Yeah, for media.
Well, no, I'm not making it up. I'm just putting you straight. That's all.
Okay.
Back to Muslim-Hindu relationships. Go on.
Okay,
Tell me why it's not right.
It's not right because the thing is, if Muslims were the sort of people who respected Hindus, and if they got with a Hindu guy, let's just say if a Muslim woman got with a Hindu guy, which is fine, that's all right as long as they get married, love each other, and this love and there's religion got nothing to do with it, they respect each other's religion. That's fine. The problem I'm having is the Muslim has always have to convert the other side into Islam. That's the problem, and because of that shows they're intolerant, and you can never have a relationship with these people. They always try to convert you.
Try to.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you look in the history, if a Muslim guy marries a Hindu, he has to convert her.
Well, he doesn't really have to convert her. Have you ever wondered whether maybe some people in these relationships may want to convert?
Well, they must be dumb, because who would want to convert into a 1400-year-old terror?
So you're calling people that may have made the decision themselves dumb, are you?
Absolutely, because they should be, I mean, after everything Muslims have done to Hindus in India, they should be about 100 times a step. But we've got backward Hindus in India.
Where does this... Sanjay, I'm really interested in speaking to you, because it's really interesting how you feel so... and correct me if I'm wrong, but would you agree that you are anti-Muslim?
I'm a proud Islamophobic, yes.
And can you tell me where that comes from?
I think growing up from a life of seeing certain things. I had Muslim friends in school, and they were going out with white girls, and just never an Indian girl, but white girls. And what happened when we were talking behind their back, when they weren't with their girl, they used to badmouth them so badly because they weren't Muslim.
Isn't that just what all guys do, though?
No, never seen anything normal like that. No, that's not normal. And another thing is, a Muslim. I had a couple of Muslim women ask me out when I was a kid, and I said no. And one day, her brothers came to the school, about 20 of them, and they were coming to beat me up. It's just a simple example I'm giving you. These people are not normal. These Muslims, they don't want to tolerate any other religion, but they expect people to tolerate theirs.
All right. Well, look, stay there, because I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people that will have a lot to say to you, especially the fact that you've declared yourself a proud Islamophobe. Let's see if we can explore that a little bit, because obviously, Sanjay, you feel very strongly about this. You're born and brought up in this country as well, aren't you, Sanjay?
Yeah.
Okay, stay on the line there if you can. Let's cross to Hussein in Nottingham. Hussein, good morning.
So you're going to give me a second. I've got to get my breath back. I just can't stop laughing at this dude. Yeah, hi, how you doing?
Hi, I'm fine. Go on. You've heard what Sanjay said. You've heard what Rajesh said as well.
Character. Honestly, you can just see how pathetic he is. He's got very little knowledge about anything in life. And obviously he's one of those, well, you know, he's one of these individuals. Give me
Hold on, Sanjay. Hold on.
He gets spoon-fed from everything he's on media. You're trying to say, okay, right, Amir Khan is a legend of an actor. Shah Rukh Khan, okay, I'm not fond of him, but he's still a legend. Saif Ali Khan isn't all that. I don't like Salman Khan. But these guys are not famous because of their names, it's because of what their talent is. Okay, let's take our actor. You've got Amir Khan, who's a boxer. He's talented. How many Hindi fans?
He was overrated. He was overrated as well.
All right, look, let's take it away from the actors a second.
Overrated is purely because
Hussein,
you're not fond of Muslims.
Hussein,
you would then defend that.
Okay, let's take it away from the Bollywood actors for just 1 second. You called up Hussein, I'm guessing, because you were offended by what Sanjay said, or are you trying to educate him? And Sanjay, I should say at this point that there'll be a lot of people that actually are very upset and offended by what you've said.
Yeah, I mean, Muslims would get upset because the instant you say this.
Well, not just Muslims. You know, let's not categorise people here. It's not just Muslims that will be upset with what you've said. I've certainly got friends who aren't Muslim, who are Hindu and Sikh or Christian, that would be just as upset and offended by what you've said, Sanjay. Let's go back to Hussein. Hussein,
I mean,
go on.
What I would say, I mean, to be honest, I didn't call up to speak to him. I called up about someone, but you know, he's kind of turned the tables. I mean, he obviously seems to be quite upset since the partition. But I mean, if you step back and think about the partition, you mentioned the partition, but you know what? There was a partition. You didn't fight the British on your own. Hindus didn't fight on their own. It was Muslims and Hindus who did that. If it wasn't for all of us to working together, they would never have left. You would actually still be slaves to them till today. So first of all, get that into your head, you know, right? And if you understand that, as a unity, we all speak literally the same language, we wear the same clothes, we literally eat the same food. The only thing that defines us is our religion. And if you know so much about your religion, you're so passionate about your religion, right? I'm more than happy to come and sit with you, mate, and I will show you that, you know, if you know so much, I've read more of your holy books. You know what really surprises me, that I know more about Hinduism than a lot of Hindus do. And a lot of my friends, I've corrected them on their own religion, because what they do, they learn. I mean, and it's not just the Hindus, it's with Muslims as well, and other religions, where people just learn things about the religion and start preaching. But
Hussein, let Sanjay just quickly respond, and I am keen to get my guests in as well. So Sanjay, do you want to come back to Hussein just briefly?
Yeah, quickly. He just said he's learned about Hinduism. I've also learned about Islam, and it turns out ever since it started 1400 years ago, it's caused nothing but terror and pain around the world.
In your opinion, though, Sanjay?
These are facts, sorry.
It's not a fact. You can't say that's a fact because it's your opinion.
That's not true. It's like the instant you say something, I'm automatically a right wing. I mean, everyone is a mean.
No one's called you right wing.
Yeah.
Right wing. He is.
Well, I didn't.
No, everyone on the BBC is left wing liberals. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, Sanjay, thanks a lot for your time. Thank you, Hussein, as well in Nottingham. Thank you for calling. And obviously, Sanjay called in and said, he doesn't like the idea of Hindu-Muslim relationships. Is it the case that you would feel the same, that you would be very upset if any of your children said, Mum, I want to marry a Muslim?
At the end of the day, I do have family members who are married into Muslim families. Whether I accept it or don't accept it, if they fall in love, they fall in love, and it doesn't matter what religion. I do have concerns, as the parents of these children have concerns, that from a Muslim point of view, to marry somebody who's a non-Muslim, you will get to Allah, because obviously you will have in the back of your mind that you will make them or persuade them to become a Muslim. It is more difficult for the other way around. For a Muslim, if it was a Muslim girl who wanted to convert to Hinduism, I think we'd have the same reaction that we had from the previous speaker. And I have to say certain things which I have observed, that most films always have a Muslim man with a Hindu woman. There are very few films where we've seen a Muslim woman convert to Hinduism because her husband is a Hindu.
Well, sometimes they don't even convert, do they? As in, a lot of films show them to be living a life with separate faiths, with different faiths.
I'll tell you one thing. They show that, but it is very, very difficult. I have known people who 3 or 4 years down the line, where all of a sudden, when they have become so intimate in the family, that the mothers-in-law, the sisters-in-law had requested that these people, the women, start wearing hijabs, etc., etc. The men, after 3 or 4 years, when that passion has died down, then feel obliged or pressured that their kids, at least, should be Muslim.
Good morning, Suraj. Sorry to keep you waiting. Are you upset by anything that you've heard? Because actually, you think it's actually becoming more acceptable now. But listening to Sanjay, for example, you would assume that it isn't.
I think, it's interesting, a lot of the views that Sanjay holds are probably quite widespread on both sides of the argument.
I'll just read a couple of texts and emails here. Some of you responding to Sanjay, who called up early on in the show, who says, this is no name on this one. Hi, I'm a Sikh. Sanjay, if Pakistan was made for Muslims and India for Hindus, what is he doing in England? Go to India and help out Shiv Sena and RSS, who want to turn India into a total Hindu majority by 2021. Let's go straight back to the phone lines and go to Tahir in Birmingham. Good morning, Tahir.
Good morning.
Hi. So, were you upset by anything you heard today? So, Tahir, what makes you so different from other Muslims? Would you say it's because you're, as you said yourself, you're not as religious?
I wouldn't say I'm not as religious. I'm not a complete Muslim. There's a lot of definition for that. A complete Muslim would read namaz 5 times a day. No, I don't do that. I admit in front of 100 imams in a mosque and say, I'm not a complete Muslim. I try my best, but I'm not a complete Muslim.
Okay.
I personally think nobody in this whole world is a complete Muslim, but one of our last prophets which was Muhammad, peace be on him.
Does it upset you, Tahir, when you hear such anti-Muslim comments, when you hear people saying this is what Muslims do?
Personally speaking, regarding that matter, we Muslims have brought that upon us ourselves. We don't know how to define things. We don't know how to come to the bottom of them. We go in haste. We go in hurry. We don't realize what we're doing. That's why we have got this new embarrassment on us, which we are called betrayals, terrorists, and which I utterly believe you me, we've brought that up on ourselves. Now, we're really talking about, can we bring a Muslim and a Hindu together? Yes, why can't we? Believe you me, Hinduism is a beautiful religion. I read the Gita. Grant, believe you me, I've been to Mandir, I've been to Gurdwara, I've been to Masjid. I don't find no difference.
Okay, Tahir, thank you very much. So to Sal, who's called in from London. Morning, Sal.
Good morning. Just a quick comment. I mean, I'm just sort of a recent sort of convert to BBC Asian radio.
Okay, yeah, we take all sorts. Don't worry.
Yeah. And and again, please forgive me for saying this, but what I have sort of noticed, going back to the comment about Sanjay, is the sort of right-wing element of Hindus coming on the show, who sort of are so Islamophobic, on issues, and that's really sort of taken me back.
in terms of some of the attitudes out there. I mean, before I sort of converted to BBC Radio, I used to listen to Radio 5 Live, etc.
Right.
And, you usually get the sort of the right-wing BNP and the sort of people coming on.
Yeah.
And,
you also get the Muslims.
Exactly. No. I'm not. Don't get me wrong. I'm not defending the Muslims at all. And clearly, the point that I want to make is that in the same way, the Muslim community have got a responsibility, especially around extremism, etc., with their youngsters. I don't know. I mean,
and we discuss that often. What do you mean, Sal? Do you think that because you're so surprised by it, do you think that there's a responsibility that Hindu groups should have about?
That's the point that I'm trying to make.
Right. What would you like them to say?
Like the Hindu elders or whoever their community leaders, blah 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 blah, must take responsibility. Within their, I mean, I don't know how their congregations work, etc. But in terms of getting the message across to their young people, to be more sort of tolerant, etc. Because these Hindus who come on the show, I mean, they're all British-born, born in this country, sort of Hindus.
Yeah.
So again, like I said, quick statement. It's taken me back, and Sanjay kind of tipped me over the hill in terms of his comments, and I thought, blimey,
Well, Sanjay has said similar things before, and I suppose there are people that will be offended by what he said, but there's other people out there that would be supportive of what he said. Maybe not in the way that he said it, because you had Rajesh on earlier who said he would have a major issue if his daughter came home and said, "This is the man I want to marry, and he's Muslim." I suppose with Sanjay, because he was quite strong in his comments, that it came out like that. But as a new listener, Sal, I mean, you said you're surprised, but are these things that you've heard before that you've probably never heard on radio before?
That's a good point. Maybe because I just saw the Asian community very supportive of each other. In terms of, but listening to Asian Sound, not Asian Sound, the BBC Asian Network. Yeah. I've realised divisions within us as well, and how sort of
you come to some of these meetings. You come to some of these religious meetings, and you realise the rift within each institution.
Yeah, and I just saw the Asian community as.
Are we kidding ourselves, Sal? That British Asians, that whether you're Sikh, Hindu, Muslim, Christian, whether you're from Gujarat, whether you're from Pakistan, wherever, that we are actually all united? Or, I mean, do you think that the snapshot that you've just heard on the Asian Network is representative?
Well, I hope it isn't. And I hope it's a minority.
It is.
Hold on a second, Anita. Hold on. Go on, Sam.
I do hope it's a minority, and clearly it's those passionate people who pick up the phone and give their views. So I do hope and pray it is a minority view and not the sort of majority of, particularly that lady who's, I forget her name, who's on the show with us at the moment.
Anita Kapoor, yeah.
Anita's saying it's not the minority, it's the norm.
Anita, go on, give us some examples of why you think this is the norm.
It is a norm. I mean, the underlying people don't talk about it, so therefore it seems that we're all united. But when it comes to the crunch, and there's religious differences, that is where people like Sanjay, who maybe not articulately or nicely put his thoughts out, but that is how people do feel. I understand that the new generation, and as you say, the new generation has a different vision and doesn't put so much onus on religion above their own feelings for another human being. But unfortunately, my age group especially, yes, they all tend to be friends, but they're religious. When it comes to religion, they step back, and then you see sometimes the viciousness.
Well, Anita, do you think it would be helped then if people of your generation were more accommodating of open relationships, of relationships where maybe it could be that your children, for example, may have made a choice for themselves, and if that involves changing a religion, then that's not anything to do with being forced or coerced into it. Maybe if people like you accepted it more. We've got a few texts and emails. no name on this one. It's an Amir Khan film, so people assume it's a conspiracy. They don't show conversion or the wedding ceremony in the film. The Khans all have interfaith relationships. He's talking about in real life. Sanjay, Mahesh, people don't assume all Indian men are racist. This level of racism is shocking. These people need to get an education. This is the best film I've ever seen. Better than seeing Hindu women almost naked dancing around lustrous men, obviously. That it's not just Hindu women, actresses that do that. All sorts of actresses do that in item numbers. Nobody complains then. That's an email. And Anil has emailed in to say, what Sanjay was describing is the truth. Now, Sanjay called up earlier on and basically said that he wouldn't want to see Hindus mixing with Muslims. He also described himself as an Islamophobe. He said he was quite proud, actually, that he felt that strongly about Muslims. And then Hussein called up as well. And actually, they had a debate together about the things they learned as they were growing up. So Anil's emailed in and said, what Sanjay was describing is the truth. I feel ashamed to be Indian because I cannot believe that Hindus and Sikhs can be so naive that they cannot see the conversion agenda behind Muslim men marrying non-Muslim women. When have you seen Muslims say that it's okay for a Muslim girl to marry a Sikh or Hindu boy? There is a massive hypocrisy here. Problem is not interfaith marriages. Sikhs and Hindus marry each other and there is no problem with that. But from Muslims, there is a disrespect towards non-Muslim girls. I actually do not feel Indian anymore. That's from Anil. To Salim, who's called in from Surrey. Afternoon, Salim.
Well, hello.
Hi there.
I just wanted to reflect on what I heard this morning.
Yep.
In particular, your caller, Sanjay.
Yeah. Is your radio on in the background, Salim?
Yeah, I've turned it off, yeah.
Oh, it's Bowinder's radio. Okay, so if you could both turn your radio or your TV off in the background, then we can start this conversation again, because I'm hearing myself back. Salim, are you back with us?
Yes, I am.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, sorry. You wanted to respond to what Sanjay had said.
Yeah, I just felt that he did claim at one point Muslims are very intolerable. I don't think he should generalize.
Intolerant.
Intolerant. But then again, he himself would be intolerant by saying, I'm Islamophobe and I can't, I'm afraid he was being rather hypocritical there. Mm-hmm.
Well, there were people that told him that. He then went on to say why he felt that way. And a lot of it...
It's a perception he has, I imagine. But, I mean, you mustn't generalize everyone and tar them with the same brush.
Are you Muslim, Salim?
By birth, but I'm not a practicing Muslim. No, I'm not.
And do you think generalizations are made about you?
When I hear such word languages, it's inflammatory language sometimes, I just feel that there's no call for that kind of thing. It's, after all, I think Sanjay was born here and he's born, educated here, but he should, with his views, I was rather disturbed. I imagine somebody who's somewhat older than himself, possibly might hold those views. But anyway,
why does it surprise you that somebody fairly young? He sounds like he's probably in his 20s or 30s. Why does that surprise you?
Well, I just thought that people who lived here and born here may have different outlook on other people and may not hold such a violent. I don't know. That's my opinion, but maybe I'm wrong. But then again, I don't live in an Asian community, so I don't have Asian friends. So I don't know. That's what I feel. And I don't have any qualms whether Muslim marries a Hindu, but I do think it's wrong if somebody forces other person to convert. I think that would be wrong, but it's entirely up to the girl or the man whether they want to, but that's down to them. But if it's been forced, that it will be wrong.
Of course. Do you think, like Bowinder, that ultimately everyone else will always make it harder for two people, if they're from different faiths, to be in that sort of relationship?
Are you talking about the parents now?
Parents, other family, friends, you name it.
Yes, I think you're right there. You can't get away from that one.
Can you change it, though, Salim?
I suppose with education, yes, you can. And people are often, I find in the Asian community, fairly narrow-minded, but they need to progress and they need to get out of that circle of thinking. It's just, personally, I've never behaved that way. I have a different outlook, basically. So, and I don't live in the Asian community, and I think differently. You see, so I'm fairly liberal-minded about such matters.
Yeah, I suppose you don't really have to be liberal, though, do you?
No, I suppose not. But then it's
to be tolerant of other faiths. You don't need to be liberal as such, do you?
No, you don't. But tolerant, of course, and embrace all cultures and religions.
We will make America great again.